Hey everybody, it's Doug here, Doug Mr. Comic Board Game Geek, bringing you Lantern Year 06 of our playthrough of Kingdom Death Monster, the Ember Settlement. And of course, before we get started, I want to talk about the things from the last phase, which was the showdown with a level 2, or as one of my viewers pointed out, a level 1.5 White Lion. So, they have a trait called Cunning. And for some reason that trait card, I missed it because the trait card wasn't in with their deck. And I had to go searching for it. I did find it. It was in a deck from a monster that I don't think I've even encountered in the game yet. But regardless, I missed that. It's pretty nasty too, so it probably would have had an impact. However, I also had some other things that went against our favor, etc., etc. So just want to point that out. As I said before, I am going to make errors, especially with the amount of content I'm pumping into this. I'm doing like a couple of videos a day at some point, and it's a lot of work, a lot of filming, and a lot of editing that needs to go into each one. So bear with me, guys. Just like I said, enjoy the story, have fun with it. The White Lion battle was actually pretty tough, so I'm not going to complain about it too much. And we lost Shara in the event. So now we're going to get back around to the settlement phase for oh, and I also didn't start him with ground fighting. He started with ground fighting. I would have loved that because I would have been able to go and make a shot at the Lion God statue and some other things, and then attacked him from afar before he got to do anything, and probably had a few hits on him. So, you know, trade-off there between that and the cunning. But regardless of that, because frankly, the only time ground fighting becomes really beneficial for the Lion is early on, when you don't have any ranged ability at all that you can back away and shoot at it. Now we have everything. We have dash, we can run away, we can do all kinds of things. So ground fighting really to me isn't a scary thing with the White Lion. Alright, well anyway guys, we're going to get on to our next settlement phase. Now we're coming back with only 3 survivors, so we're only going to get to Endeavor 3 times. Of course, one of those will be an innovation because there's still some things I want to get. I'm debating if we have enough stuff to start building things, but I will not build another location unless we can complete the armor, the cat armor, which I believe that we can. We need let me see, I need 1, 2, 3 pieces of cat armor, and I have everything I need. In fact, I even have enough for the lion headdress. Could even make 2 lion headdresses, which would be interesting. But we'll see how that goes. I may use one of the shimmering manes for something else. Because we have 2 of them. But there's only 1 card in the deck, so I wrote it down, but we have 2. Alright, so let's get on with this settlement phase and see what happens. So the 3 survivors return and are greeted by Constantine and the others, and Angus, who's sad to see that his companion, who he started this whole journey with, is gone. And that's unfortunate. Shara, I think, was the mother of... No, that was Annabelle. Sorry, say the mother of Nona. But Shara the Insane has passed and lost 2 phenomenal weapons, with the Adventurer's Sword and the Twilight Sword. So that kind of bites, but that's the way that it goes. And again, there was something that I did that I could have saved Shara with, and it was pointed out to me too. But since I missed the Cunning card for the Lion, I'm going to leave it as is. And again, you know, guys, just really enjoy the story of this. This game has so much in it going on in it. It's so easy to miss a thing. While conversely, it's very easy to watch it and then go back and look at the rules and contemplate, say, oh, you missed this. So just really enjoy the story and have fun with it. I am, and I think a lot of you are too. So let's continue on. Okay, next step, we're going to have all our guys return, yada yada. The interesting thing about this is when we update the death count this settlement phase, we are going to be having a new principle of death, and how we deal with that. I'm debating on that. I tend to like to stay good guys, and to me there's one, okay, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it, and some of you play will know where I'm going with that. But the next thing we're going to do is we're going to collect our endeavors. We have 3 of them to spend, and then the next thing we're going to do is update the timeline. A lot's going to happen there, so let me get out our settlement sheet and start to do that. Well, so here's the deal. We did Hands of Heat. Now we're on settlement, the settlement phase of Lantern Year 6. So we're going to have Armored Strangers is going to be our story event that's going to come up and we're going to have to deal with. So let's take a look at what's next. I think we do that after the death count. I'm going to check, but let's move forward so we know we're going to have that story event occurring, Armored Strangers. All right, so yeah, we're going to start with our events for the turn. And first thing we have to do is determine what happens during the Gorm Climate event. A 9, that's not bad. Now keep in mind though that with the Gorm Climate, I don't think we get rid of it until we solve some things with the Gorms. So I think we're going to have to go hunt some Gorms and deal with that. Even though I'd like to graduate and do some tougher monsters. Maybe I'll do a 2nd level Gorm and won't forget his traits. Okay, so we got a 9. So it says we do not have storytelling. So the settlement struggles against the quaking ground, linking arms to embrace themselves against the storm. Nominated survivor with 0 hunt experience. They draw strength from the settlement and determination and gain 1 courage. Okay, I think we'll make that, let's see. We will make that Beowulf. Yeah, Beowulf. He's going to have +1 courage when we create him. Okay, that's awesome. He's going to turn out pretty good when we get started. And then, of course, we draw a random event. All right, let me shuffle these up. Okay, let's get a couple more shuffles. I wanted to shuffle it up thoroughly, so I didn't want you to sit through it. What do we get? The Dark Dentist. See, this is weird. All these cards, this one's come up for me so many times. Okay, yeah, if we have a Shattered Jaw, no we don't. It says a cloaked woman enters the settlement. All that can be seen beneath her hood is the sparkle of perfect teeth. Weird. She offers to improve the survivors if they are brave enough. Okay. So basically we can do one of these things if we have the stuff, and we do. We actually have 2 iron. We could do the metal jaw. But we don't want to, we don't have any fights with fist and tooth. We could take a random survivor, because we don't really have anything else we can do with this iron. Maybe once again we target Beowulf. I mean, he could die if we roll anything less than a 6. Or we could take Sybil. Sybil, that would be rather interesting, wouldn't it? Sybil with her massive starting survival. We also have another female character and another male character I haven't named, but the female character has +1 strength. We could do that one. But Beowulf has +1 strength, +1 survival, +1 courage from Daddy Angus. And I think let's do Sybil. Yeah. Because remember, it has to be a survivor. Gain the following. Yeah. Let's try that. We got 2 iron. We can just take a chance on it. Give somebody, make a really unique character for that. Let's do that. I just got to think about which one. Yeah, we're going to go with Sybil. So we're going to spend our 2 iron, which we still have. Just make sure, did I keep the iron? I did keep both iron when I had to get rid of our resources. Okay. And let me see what we got. We got an 8. Okay, so we did not lose anything. We got the surgery is successful. So she now has the sharp, her fist and tooth attacks now gain sharp. So I got to make the note of that on her stuff. Sybil is interesting. She's got a metal maw. I think we're going to have to get her out pretty soon. And, okay, well, that's it. Let's close that out. That is the end of the... Now, this is a lingering effect, so it remains during the settlement phase. And while we're on that topic, I want to talk about some other things. There's some cards in here, and I try to play them to the best of my awareness of them, but like the Gorm Climate stays, but it doesn't say that, right? And it doesn't say lingering effect or anything like that. Lingering effects typically go away at the end of the settlement phase, but some of them have been reputed to not. Some based on the forums you read. So I am going to play always, unless I know for sure, like the Gorm Climate, that it goes away at the end of the phase, settlement phase. So anyway, that is Sybil. Next up, we are going to update our death count. Okay, so whoop. Now we do know that we had a death. So for the first time, our death count is 1. And that puts us down to, let me see, how many survivors. If we take out 10. So it's only 10 survivors in the settlement right now. And then we're going to, because we have the death, for the first time, we're going to be triggering an event. So we're going to do that as well. So our first death makes us face the fact that we have death. In this principle, it says the group must decide what to do with their first survivor corpse. Okay, so we come back with the corpse of Shara, and we have to decide. You can see there's this really gruesome, I'll just flash on it, a picture over here, but we have to choose first harvest or the first grave. And this is where I said I typically like playing good guys. I don't really, to me, this first harvest where you become cannibals, it has benefits, but it also, I don't really like it. It's awful. We gain stuff, but I don't know if I want to. So I think, guys, I'm sorry, I think I'm going to go with first graves. I like that better. We're going to bury our dead, treat them with respect, along with our protection of the young. We cherish life, not death, and so we're going to honor our dead as well. The settlement decides to build a small monument to mark their loss. The settlement gains the death principle graves. Find that and place the card on the settlement board and note it on the settlement record sheet. Absolutely. After adding that card, roll a d10. So let me get that card out. Okay, here is graves. It says all new survivors gain +1 understanding. So that's new survivors. Okay, so none of the ones that exist. When a survivor dies during the hunt or showdown phase, gain +2 endeavors. When a survivor dies during the settlement phase, gain +1 endeavor. So that's our death principle. So we have two principles. We have graves and protect the young. So that's pretty good. And then we have to roll on this chart here. Let's see. It looks like it's going to be 1d10. Yes. And we rolled a 1, so that's got to be bad. The settlement gathers around the grave, each taking a moment to reflect their loss and their place in the darkness. All departing survivors gain +1 survival and +1 understanding. So, okay. So basically, everybody who departs on this next segment, I got to make a note of that, will gain +1 survival, +1 understanding. So whoever goes on the next adventure, basically the next showdown or hunt. Okay, well, that is the principle of death. So that is the first of our story events. We're going to have another one, the Armored Strangers. So let's go do that. Man, it's unfortunate this one really gains us a +1 of survivor gains +1 luck. That would be really good, but we didn't get that. So anyway, I'll take the +1 survival and +1 understanding. That is not a bad thing. And let's go to the next story. So here are the Armored Strangers. This is the story event for Lantern Year 6. It says, you are visited by enigmatic figures fully enclosed in armor. They march silently through the settlement. The only noise is a metallic clang as they pause before each survivor and tap their lantern halberds against the ground. The survivors have no choice but to helplessly await their mute deliberation. Add the Kingsman to the Nemesis encounter list. The strangers count people and take action based on the population. So we get to check off the Kingsman on our hunt list. Our quarries list, right? Oh, Nemesis list. Right. Okay, so we have the Nemesis Kingsman now available. And we also, we took on a level 1 Butcher, so we have the level 1 Kingsman available as a Nemesis encounter, which will come up at some point, I imagine. Okay, population, 7 or less, 8 or more. So we do have 8 or more population. The strangers finish their count and draw their blades. Roll on the table. Now it says resist. You rise up, add a special showdown Kingsman to the timeline this year. After that showdown, heal the returning survivors and resume the year's settlement phase at the update death step. Do not gain endeavors, draw new settlement cards, or da-da-da-da-da. Or advance the Lantern Year. Okay, so we could resist them. I don't think we will. I think we're going to go here and do this. The strangers finish their count and draw their blades. Roll on the table. All right. Let's see what happens here. Okay, let's see what happens here. Hopefully something good. A 9. What does a 9 do? The strangers destroy a random innovation. Return the lost innovation card to the settlement innovation deck. The survivors may choose to resist to avoid this loss. I think we'll suffer the random. We'll suffer that. We'll just take it. I don't want to go into a showdown with this guy yet, and I want to build our stuff. So let me get our innovations out, and we're going to lose one at random. Okay, here are our innovations. Let's see. which one we're going to lose as a result. And it just goes back in our deck. Paint, does that mean we lose dash? We do, don't we? Man, that's rough, but okay, we're going to lose dash. Okay, this is going to go back into our innovation deck. We can get it again, but we don't have it now. And I guess without paint, we lose the dash ability because we get it as a result of that innovation. So going to assume we lose it. That sucks. Okay, and then I'll put this, I'm going to shuffle this back into this deck because we are going to innovate. Maybe we'll get it again. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, let's move forward. That ends the Armored Strangers event. So they came through, destroyed a they saw that we were becoming populous and destroyed a random innovation of ours. It's kind of weird. I could have resisted him and fought the knight, but the king's man, but I chose not to. We just had a death, not quite prepared to do it. Oh well. And now we're going to move on. Okay, so we did our death count. Now we just checked our story events. That's what we just did. Now we're going to go to our development phase. Okay, first things first. We're going to do this. Oh, I also have to remember to remove the 2 iron that we had. They're gone. I got to erase them from our sheet. They're gone. I also still have a sinew and a lion testy and 2 cat claws. So we've got a lot of bone. Anyway, I'm going to get rid of all these, and we're going to burn an endeavor to innovate. So I'm going to put those aside. Again, I already shuffled this deck, so we'll just draw the first one. The heart flute. Oh, I get 2. Don't forget I get 2. And scarification. Okay, we can do an endeavor here once per lifetime, +1 courage, and roll on the hit die location. We could get stuff. That's pretty good. This is definitely worth it, but what's the heart flute do? When a survivor uses synchronized strike fighting art, their attacks don't have synchronized strike. And we get to roll Devil's Melody, sharp note, you drop dead. Wow. You play a trill note, select the nemesis monster, add a special showdown with them. Yeah, we're going to do scarification. Way better. Don't really dig the heart flute that much. If we had the synchronized strike, it'd be okay, but we don't. So scarification is something we can actually maybe spend a little bit on this turn with some of our new folks to give them some additional abilities, get them out into the field. All right, now we're going to build stuff. I'm going to set aside all of our stuff. I'll have it all built out, and then we can I can show you what we made this turn. So we're not creating as much as I thought we would be this turn, but I do need to erase some things from our sheet. I'm erasing the sinew that was on our sheet, not in a card form, and then one of the other cat claws that we had, so I can build what we have here, because that'll satisfy everything we need. I'm also keeping 2 cat bone and a shimmering mane to add to our 1 remaining cat claw and 1 remaining lion testy. Okay, and also still have some love juice floating around. All right, now, so what we're going to do with this is we're going to build a number of things. First thing is we are going to complete our white lion outfit. That is awesome. So I don't know if that's going to Percival this turn or not. We'll see. It depends on who goes out in the hunt, but I'm putting it on near Percival's sheet for the moment. Then we also get the white lion headdress. This accessory just adds 1 to someone's armor in the head. And since Annabelle has the rawhide set, I think I'm going to give it to Annabelle. It doesn't, you notice it doesn't have any bonuses or anything, it just will help her out. Then I built for the possibility of a new player coming out, which we're going to do this turn for sure. I brought out 2 Lion Beast Katars because they can be used by different characters. Actually, I may only build 1. That would save us a lion claw and a hide. I use the sinew as hide for this, but we could just get 1 set of them. Except it says they're paired when you attack. So no, we're going to do it. We're going to pair them up. We're going to do that. Okay. So there's going to be that. And then I also used some of the lion testes to build a frenzy drink. And so that, all of this is going to go away, plus all the stuff we had on our sheet. I'm going to record the rest on our sheet, get it all turned in. That was our entire set of building things. We still have 2 endeavors. And I think we're going to go for some scrap because we are out of scrap. And we can do a... or do I have enough? What do I have left? I have a hide, organ, and 2 bones. 3 bones because I have a cat claw. I could build the weapon. Oh, we already built the weapon crafter, didn't we? Yes, we did. What else could I build? I could build the... I need a strange resource and a gorm brain for the special innovation that's there. I could build the stone circles for 3 organs. I don't have 3 organs anymore. Scrap smelting, 2 scrap, 5 bones. No, can't do that. The leather worker, 3 hides, 1 organ. Can't do that. Okay, so we can't build anything new with the stuff that we have. That's okay. Not the worst thing. I have 2. How many organs do I have? I have 2 left. No, yeah, 1 left. I have 1 organ left. Okay. So, can't really do much there. That means I think we can use our innovations. I think, one, we're going to do some scarification, but we're going to do it with some new people. Let's take a look at the scarification. We have 2. We can do 2 of them. And we can roll. We'll roll a hit die, and I'm going to have to make some new character sheets up for the people that will be going out on this hunt. I think one of them will definitely be Nona. She's more than capable of taking it, and she's one of our new up-and-coming toughies. She's already got a number of experiences. So let's do her first. See how that goes out. She's going to use one of our only 2. We can only do 2 of them. Endeavors to do scarification. This is a once-in-a-lifetime deal. So what do we get? We get the hand or arms, a gambler's scar, +1 permanent luck. Wow. That is fantastic. That means she criticals on a 9 or a 10. I love that. So I put in once per lifetime gambler's scar. And that means that she has +1 luck. So she has +1 strength, +1 evasion, +1 speed, and +1 luck, and uses a bow. Man, she is really beefy. All right, and next up, I think we'll do... I think Beowulf is coming out next. Let's scar up Beowulf, okay? Let's roll again, see what he gets. He got the body. So what happens in the body? Gain the tough fighting art. Okay, so he's got the fighting art tough. I got to make a character sheet for him before we get going. But Beowulf is going to be next up on the list to go. And that's going to be our 2 endeavors. That's it. So we're going to move on from there. We did our innovation. We got the scarification, which was really useful. And now we prepare. Everybody got to heal everybody up, get everybody ready, pick what we're going to fight. I think we're going to go after a level 2 Gorm, and I'll make sure I have all the traits and everything, guys, and see how that turns out. So on this hunt, we're going to have Nona, Percival, Annabelle, and Beowulf. I could also change out maybe Percival for Sybil. Yeah, let's do that. I'm going to change out Percival for Sybil as well. So we're going to have Beowulf, Sybil, Nona, and Annabelle. I also have Adam, but he doesn't have any special stuff, Adam. He's just a dude. These other characters, Sybil has the metal maw and 10 survival, so I wouldn't even have to give her any gear except for some armor. And Beowulf has a ton of stuff. I also have someone else with a +10 strength that we haven't named yet. Okay, well, I'll think about that. You'll get surprised, whoever shows up on the hunt. And we're going to go after a level 2 Gorm. So we'll go to the hunt phase next, and I'll see you in that segment. Be right back. Okay, guys, before we get down to the hunt phase, I want to burn the love juice, since we don't have to use an endeavor to it, to use it to have intimacy between 2 of our settlement folks. I'm going to nominate Sybil and Adam for this. We have the new life principle, so we get to roll 2 dice, so it's pretty good. And we definitely need to... Oh, look what we just rolled. We definitely need to increase our population. Okay, so looking down here at 10, I think the 10 is going to be something we do. If the settlement has innovated hovel, and they do not already have a savior, a special child is born. Okay. The settlement celebrates twice fortune events. A pair of healthy... Now, does this override this, or does it... I think the population still goes up too, but one of them is a special child. Anyway, we'll go to this event and see. They either have 2 children, or we get one, or just one, and it's a special child. Let's check that out. Okay, birth of a savior. The newborn vanishes from the loving arms of the settlement for a fraction of a second. In that second, it spends a lifetime in the domain of the ethereal dreamer and returns with a dream. Choose one. Dream of the beast, dream of the crown, dream of the lantern. So the newborn survivor gains +1 permanent red affinity, +1 permanent strength in the following abilities. Keratosis. Okay. When you trigger H2, life exchange. In the aftermath, gain 1 additional hunt experience. You may not wear other gear. If you trigger the White Secret Story event, you cease to exist. Okay. This one is... life exchange happens to all of them. Okay. This one is the newborn savior gains 1 permanent green affinity, +1 evasion, and the following abilities. Dormenitus. When you suffer damage, you may declare Dormenitus in a loud, booming voice. If you do, gain armor, X armor to that hit location. X cannot be more than the total green affinities, so it will right now be 1. After damage is resolved, gain + hunt experience. Wow. The newborn savior, yeah, they gain hunt experience very quickly. Newborn savior gains 1 permanent blue affinity, +1 permanent luck, and the following ability. Lucerne. Before making a wound attempt, you may declare Lucerne X in a loud booming voice. If you do, that wound attempt gains X luck. X cannot be more than your total affinities. When the attack ends, gain... I think we're going to do Dream of the Lantern. When you trigger H2, Lucerne's Lantern, Secret Fighting Art. Okay, we're going to do Dream of the Lantern. So we have a Savior as our new population member. I'm going to make it a male Savior, because the last one I did was a female. That's why I did that. And it's a Dream of Lantern. Dream of Lantern. And that's +1 permanent, +1 blue, or +1 blue affinity, and +1 luck. Okay, well, we may be taking our... I think we're going to be taking our Savior out. So it's probably going to be Nona and Beowulf for sure. Then I have to decide, who am I going to drop? Percival or Annabelle and take somebody else? Probably Percival, because the reason I say is because if we can top out Annabelle's courage, that might be interesting. I haven't done that yet. And she's also got a ton of understanding. Conversely, yeah, it's going to be Annabelle. Percival's pretty tough, but we can outfit Beowulf, for example, who's really tough. In fact, he is tough because he has tough fighting art in the lion gear armor with the guitars to start him down that path. So I don't think it's going to be Sybil going out. I think it's going to be this new child. So it'll be one of the guys. We'll figure out what we name him, and we'll come back to the hunt phase. You can see I'll go over everybody's gear grid, and we'll start the hunt for a level 2 Gorm, I think. Let me think, and I'll see you in a moment. Alright guys, so here we are at the hunt phase. Now, the settlement made some key decisions because we do need to get some new people ramped up with experience. So what we're going to do is, we're going to take on a level 2 Gorm. However, one of the traits of a level 2 Gorm is this, I don't know, it's like a Musk type ability that is -2 evasion and -2 something else, accuracy I think. For everybody that has less than 3 hunt experience. So that's going to be almost all of these folks. I think the only one that is Nona and Annabelle have that, but the other 2 don't. In fact, the other 2 have 0 hunt experience. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go against a new, tougher creature. It's going to be the Screaming Antelope. Here is that cool creature. Yeah, again, I'm not a master painter, but this one came out pretty good. I like it. Anyway, he's right here, and we're going to go after him for a change. Now, who we're going to bring with us is, as you can see, Nona's still there. Now, she brings her Red Fist ability, so she has given everybody a +1 strength token, and you know she's really tough. By the time she left, she ended up with 3 survivals, so she's got a low survival right now, but that's okay. Anyway, here's what she looked like right now. She's got proficiency in bow. She's doing pretty good in that. She's about to hit her proficiency this turn if she can hit once with the bow. She's got the Red Fist. She has branded Gambler Scar, which you know, gives her that +1 luck. So she's got +1 strength, +1 evasion, +1 luck, +1 speed. She's a really well-rounded character. Now, for gear, I gave her the skull helm, but I also added the lion headdress to her stuff because she really doesn't have a lot in the way of armor. She's got the skull helm and the cloth, so that gives her 4 points in the head, but she's archery, so I'm not too freaked out about that. She should be okay. She's going to be at ranged. Next up, we are bringing the son of Angus, Beowulf. That's the son of Angus and Annabelle, Beowulf. Now, he's pretty good, too. He's got 5 survival. He's got no insanity, though. Not great. I didn't mark his armor yet, but he's got the full white lion suit. Now, the thing that sucks about the white lion suit is I had no way to connect the white lion helmet to anything, because you need a red connection. See, it's a puzzle piece like that, not just that. If it's just a square, I can connect anything to make that happen, but if it's a puzzle piece, I have to connect this item. So he's not getting the bonus from the headdress, but he is getting the 2 armor. So he's got 2 armor everywhere, and he's got the full cat suit. So we'll take a look at what that does for him in a moment. I got to get the card out for that. So here is that armor set. Basically, it's going to give him +1 to all locations. So he's going to have 3 armor in every location. That's fantastic, right? It says your weapons are claws, gain +1 speed and +2 strength when attacking with daggers and katars. So here's what we did. That's fantastic because I gave him a paired set of katars to fight with. That means he's going to be rolling 4 dice. He's already got a +1 strength, so he's going to have +2 strength, or +3 strength, +1 speed with the katar. So 5 total dice he's going to roll. Beastly, beastly. And he's got the full complement of armor. Plus, I did connect up for the purposes of I didn't connect this one either, so he doesn't get the +1 movement. Oh, I guess nothing. Nothing really matters for him as far as connecting his stuff. And I gave him the frenzy drink so he can go nuts if he needs to. And that's going to be Beowulf. Really good start for him, I think. He's going to be pretty tough if we can keep him in the armor and get him proficient with the guitar. It's going to be very good. And then, of course, Annabelle, I kept her in the same gear. I changed out a couple things. I gave her the bone darts just because it helped connect the monster tooth necklace. Because we need 2 red connections. So I got 1 here and 1 here. And that's fantastic. So we got that. And the monster tooth necklace gives her +1 strength. She's got the scrap dagger as her main weapon. And then all the rawhide set plus monster grease for evasion. She's an evasion queen because we also have this connected to give us another evasion. And she has, so she's got a good evasion and good armor. That's awesome. And then last up, we have our savior. I named Ragnar. He's coming into the battle with 3 survival, +1 luck, which is awesome. Plus he's got the savior. He has 1 blue connection automatically. Doesn't really help him. Actually it does. It helps him with this. So he's going to get the +1 evasion from the rawhide armor because he's got the connected blue piece. I think it affects him that way. I'm not 100% sure, but it says you get a free blue connection. So, and then he's got the Lucernia ability. If he claims it, Lucernia 1, for example, in this case, he would claim that, and that would give him you know what I'm trying to say, another +1 luck. So that would give him 2 luck. That means based on that, and if he's using the rib blade, which he's intending to use, he only gets 1 hit, but it's deadly, so it's already critting on a 9, and he's got a +2 luck. So that is fantastic for him. Plus he's got the, I thought I put it aside for us, tough ability, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, that's not him that has tough. My bad. Anyway, I'm going to double check that. Does he have tough, or is that somebody else? No, that is Beowulf that's got tough. I didn't cover that with you guys. He's got the tough fighting art. It says, when rolling on a severe injury table, unless you roll a 1, add +1 to the result. That's his tough fighting art. So that's Beowulf, so that makes him a little better. I gave him a rawhide vest. He's got a rawhide vest, a skull helmet, and that's it, and cloth armor in his waist. So I will mark down all their armor, and we'll get started down the hunt track as we go after a screaming antelope. I did swap out one thing. I traded the frenzy drink to Nona and gave the stone noses to Beowulf. And the reason I did that is Beowulf with the stone nose will gain a insanity, and then also he'll gain an additional survival. He can't get any more survival, and I should check that. We might be up to 6, but anyway, I think he's stuck at 5, and it's going to work out real well for him. Now, also, don't forget that Ragnar, as a savior, when he does activate that Lucernia ability, he gets an extra hunt experience. Additionally, whenever there's I think he also gets an extra hunt experience on other occasions. I don't have to keep track of that. and double check the savior ability. But let's get started, because that's not going to happen now. That's going to happen during the showdown, where he gets the extra hunt experience. Okay, so here we are. We're going to start our trek as we look for the first of our quarries against the Screaming Antelope. We're going to find one and kill it and see if we get some good stuff. I really want some Gorm gear, but I want to, if once these guys hit 3 hunt experience, we'll go after a level 2 Gorm. But for now, we're going to take on a Screaming Antelope. They're pretty nasty. They can really do some damage. So anyway, I think first up, Nona likes to go first in these things. So she's going to move up first. She's going to have the first run at what happens. Oh, we found a dead antelope. The survivors are struck by the scent of rotting meat wafting from a hulking corpse ahead. The event revealer may lead the survivors to investigate. If they do, gain 1 random vermin resource, 2 random Screaming Antelope resources, and roll a d10. On a 7+, the survivors are startled by the arrival of the antelope's killer, a white lion. Bah. End the hunt now. Start a showdown with the white lion, 1 level higher than the quarry or highest level available. That would be 2. Using its setup rules. Add a dead monster terrain card to the showdown. So first off, let's do the first part of that. We are going to get 1 random vermin resource and 2 Screaming Antelope resources. We may have a round 2 with a white lion. I don't really want that, but it may be what we do. Hopefully we roll well enough to not worry about it. We are definitely going to get the resources. There's no way she's not going to lead them to the corpse. Anyway, that fell out, so we got a hissing cockroach. Consume. Archive this to lose all survival and gain 2d10 insanity. You know, when Beowulf gets down, or Beowulf or Ragnar get down to 1 insanity or 1 survival, it might be worth doing that. Anyway, I'm going to put that aside. That is our vermin resource that we acquired, and then we got the hunt resources for the Screaming Antelope. We're going to have 2 of those. Then we got to roll a d10. We'll see how this goes for us. Like I said, we might be fighting another level 2 white lion, which if we do, I apologize, but that's the way this game goes. So let's see. We got 2 resources. We get a bladder. It's an organ consumable. Smells like urine. That's awesome. And then I'll just do another quick shuffle and get whatever this is. A beast steak organ consumable. Shockingly appetizing. Okay, so we got a beast steak and a bladder. Those are both organs. That's actually not unhelpful for us, because we have a couple of things we could enhance if we had organs to spare. And that gives us some organs. Okay, now let's roll Nona and see if we're going to take on a white lion or the dead antelope, or the antelope. The rare occasion that we want to roll low, it says, yeah, here we go. Resources, and roll a d10 on a result of 7+. The survivors are startled by the arrival of an antelope's killer, the white lion, a 3. So we do not have to fight the white lion. Good. We just found it dead. It made off with whatever it needed from the corpse. And we get to continue on our way. So we will move up. I'm going to pull the book from here. I had it on the showdown for the Screaming Antelope, because we're going to need the random event chart. Now, I think we'll let Ragnar, by the way, this is Ragnar. Gave him red hair because he's one of the saviors, right? You can see I built a few starter miniatures. The only one that's got really any enhanced gear right now is this one. And I should build a bunch more, but I haven't. All right, so I need to build, now I got a full white lion suit. I need to build a full white lion suit of armor. That would be awesome. All right, anyway, let's go to the event, the random events, and Beowulf, or no, Ragnar is going to make a random event roll and see what we happen to encounter. Should be fun. All right. Okay, we're going to roll percentile dice and see what we get. A 60. Oh, okay, I'm teasing you guys. I'm teasing you. I'm just messing with you because someone's about to freak out, I know, saying, you need a white die or something. Okay. Anyway, here we go. We're going to roll this. White die will be high. We rolled a 76. 76 for our event. Let's hope it's nothing terrible. Here's 76 is way down here. Dream the way. The survivors have vivid, fevered visions of what lies ahead. All at once, they are startled awake and frantically compare the horrors they saw. Each survivor rolls 1d10. If the survivor is a savior, their powerful dreams envelops the group. It does. Each survivor may select whatever die result they want. Because I brought the savior. Wow, what a random luck of good luck, I think, right? They gain +1 in... Okay. Those survivors discover they had the exact same dream. They gain +1 insanity. If any duplicates are rolled, the event revealer may re-roll any one roll on the hunt result. Wait, okay. Each survivor may select whatever die roll the result they want. Okay. If the survivors' rolls are the same, those survivors discover they have exactly the same dream. They gain +1 insanity. If any duplicate rolls are 10s, the event revealer may reroll one roll result on the hunt phase. On this hunt phase, any one die roll, not just their roll. All right, well, I guess we'll make them all 10s. It says because I have a survivor, a savior with me, their powerful dreams envelop the group. Each survivor may select whatever die roll they want. So we're going to do 10s. Everybody's going to get a insanity, which is really useful to us because it's not something we had a ton of on these characters. And they're going to get to reroll a hunt roll if we need to. So I'm just marking everybody's insanity. So Annabelle is actually now crazy. She's got 3 total. There's Nona has 2, Beowulf has 2, Annabelle has 3, and Ragnar has 1. That is fantastic. He needed that. Okay, so he's got a little brain protection there. And we could re-roll on the next roll, but let's go back to the board. Okay, Ragnar, good job. You did that. In fact, he was the savior. So next up, I think Annabelle will take the next one, and then we're going to go into the fight. Let's see what we get. Devoured grounds. The stone face ground is littered with the leavings of ravenous passing beasts. Half-eaten acanthus plants are strewn everywhere. If a survivor has 3 understanding, no. Does anybody have 3 understanding? Yes, Nona, actually. Nope, that's courage. Understanding. No, none of them have 3 understanding. The survivors may skip the next hunt phase. That's okay, or hunt space, but that's okay because we're going to end up fighting the antelope anyway. Otherwise, roll a random event. So we're going to roll a random event. If it's really bad, I can re-roll it. So 50 exactly. 50, 50. Let's see what we get. 50, gibbet. A crude iron cage swings from the branches of a massive tree. As the survivors approach, a man calls out to them from the cage, pleading to be freed. The survivors may pass him by and suffer 1 brain event damage as the prisoner weeps and pleads. If the survivors choose to free him, this event revealer rolls a d10. Well, I get to re-roll this if it's bad. So we're gonna free him. I don't want to leave anybody in the gibbet, right? That's bad. Hopefully something good happens. Let's see what we roll. A 10! Man, my rolls... Wow, okay. The prisoner is grateful and follows the survivors home after the showdown. The settlement gains +1 population. And we didn't take any brain damage. So we found this dude. He's going to go home with us. Our population increases. I'm going to name him Jack Sparrow because I think in the first movie you find Jack Sparrow in a gibbet. Or one of the movies. Anyway, so the guy that followed us home is Jack Sparrow. Okay. And I'm going to add him to our sheet. Number 13, Jack Sparrow. So next survivor that we have by birth or something is going to be a female, so we can keep the crowd balanced out. All right, and that means that we are here, so our next step is to attack the screaming antelope, because we are going to move into him at this point. So we ended up getting some extra resources on the hunt. We actually increased our population by 1, which was really neat. And he goes back with us after the showdown phase. So we're going to get to... I put him on there already so I don't forget. If for some reason we all die, I'll take him off, and you guys, I'm sure, will remind me. So anyway, we're going to go to the showdown next in the next episode. Now, one of the things I've been thinking about is, and I don't know how long you guys want these videos to be, so I've been carefully breaking them into 2 parts, because the showdowns can be fairly long. So we have the settlement and the hunt phase in one video and the showdown in the other. So we're up to, this will be Lantern Year, what, 6? 6, right? And we have, so that means we've done 13 videos by the time these come out. 13 videos on this series, and we're continuing to go. I could condense the number of videos by making them longer, but I kind of like the format. I just want to check with you guys and see if you like doing settlement phase, hunt phase, and then a separate video for the showdown. It seems to be working out well, but I'm checking with you. So anyway, this time we are going to do it that way as well as we have been. We're going to move to the hunt phase, or the showdown phase, in the next video, where we will be taking on the first Screaming Antelope for Ember Settlement. We'll see you there, guys. Take care, and I'll talk to you in the next episode.